So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is part 2. Ustream is doing this at the moment. It's kicking... Alfie's got all the blanket now. It keeps kicking everybody off, so apologies, there could be several videos in this section. I'm just playing a little bit so you can see that there is actually just a subtle difference in these. So that page will be going under that. I might leave that one. That will be going there. That will be going there. So that's number 6. And so I decided to do the colour swatches on the outside and the writing on the inside. And I do have a finish pen. Right. Pen. And you do need a fine pen. And I used to use my little fine one, and I can't really write with those anymore. So I've found another one somewhere. Should be a pen. Not sure where it is. It's disappeared. Everything's disappeared that was all handy. And I did have this pen handy. I'll have to do it in pencil. No, I can't. None of my pencils work. Oh, I know. I'll do it in this one, I think. Wait a minute. This one might work. So I've just got to remember that's not the colour order that I want. So that's the first one. The second one is going to be, we want number 7. I'm just going to do these 4 onto here. I think, unless I take that 6 off there, because they're kind of greys. I might double those up, actually. I could do, because their colours are quite light. So number 7 is going to be dark grey. So 7 is dark grey. And number 8 is greyish black. And then number 9 is supposed to be black. But I'm going to put Payne's grey. And then number 10 is black. So now Number 7. I had a ruler yesterday. I had a ruler. I took the clip off it because I was using it, and it's disappeared. It's completely disappeared. So we've got number 7. I cannot believe I've lost that little ruler. It's just really handy just to sit. It's handy to have a ruler because you don't have to then try to control your crayon. This one's going to be too big and ridiculous, but it's going to have to be the one. So, oopsie. So number 7 is dark grey. If you didn't want to spoil the point, you could use the other end. And you can see I'm just doing it quite gently. Now, if you had a large template of some kind of plastic, then or round shapes that you wanted to use, I was going to buy some squares, but they're a bit expensive. But if you've already got one, you could use it. So a plastic stencil, even a child's plastic stencil, sometimes they're quite big. And what I'm trying to do is to fill in all the gaps, but when it starts to peel bits up, that's your pure colour disappearing. So, you know, there's no reason to do that anymore. So we want number 8 is black, blackish grey. I was thinking these would make some really nice watercolour sketches in blacks and greys and sepias, so that's why I've kind of got these. But I would think technically you don't really need them. It's just you see my hands hurting already, and I've only done a few. I just wanted to show that this is how you do it. So again, you know, that's not very neat, but on the next run it gets better. So you can see one or two little bits of white, and I'm really going to go for this because I'm not going to do it again. And you need to get all that there's some little white specks. We don't really want any white specks. I didn't have any on the others, but it's just, that's what it is. So we've got the Payne's Grey is the next one. And I'm going to do the same with my 72. Yeah, I think it's the paper actually. I think the paper's not as good. It's not as smooth. And it's not letting me get that nice coverage, but I never thought of that. This is a cheaper paper, so I'm just wasting colour now, so might have to rethink that. I don't like wasting colour. So that's why you can't do it with watercolour paper, because the colours will just soak in. Don't do it with watercolour paper. You want a fairly flat, good quality paper. But there's still quite a lot of colour on there. And then the black. That's why you could get somebody else to kind of scribble onto there for you, and you're going to get a good coverage of colour. And you're not taking too much off. That wasn't particularly blunt, sharp to start with, that one. The other thing you've got to remember is it's a watercolour, so if you're activating it with your fingers, it's going to contaminate another page. I might go back to the other way. Let me have a look. I think it was this sketchbook paper that I used. Yeah, this is what I used. It says extra wet strength. This is the one that I've used, so I'm going to go back to this. This is thicker, and it must also have a better coating on it. So I've put it back now. I'm only using one side, so I can use this sketchbook that's not particularly being used. But I really don't like that cheaper sketchbook paper. You need it to be, just says extra wet on it. It's not watercolour paper, but it does say extra wet. Right, oopsie, I've forgotten the little alpha was underneath. So that's probably, so this is going to be, if you can see, there isn't much in it, but this is for ink, and this is just that little bit thicker, and it just says that magic word extra wet something or other. What was it? It said, oh, that's the wrong one, you see. That's the one I used because it was slightly cheaper. I mean, these are 99p. The bigger ones are £1.99. These are Sea White of Brighton, and it says extra wet strength, acid free, 140 GSM. This is the one, £1.20. This is the one that you need, and it's also good for sketching on as well. It's fantastic for doing watercolour sketches, especially with the Caran Neocolor 2s. It's really, really good. So you can have a real good play in that, and it's £1.20. So it's probably the same price as these. So I'm not using this one. I'll probably put that one in, but I'm going to scratch those now, because you shouldn't use any bits and pieces. Should not be falling off like that. It's not how I wanted it to be. So it's a bit rough, but it's going to be exactly the same. And just looking for the scissors. It's my own fault. This is what I used in my original, and this is the one that's lasted me a long time, so this is what I'm going to use. So what I need to do is put this is my measuring system. And apologies, but you want to do it for the size of squares that you want, and of course these will be different to mine. So this is how I made the original, and it's what I made the original of, which is probably why those pages have lasted such a long time. So anybody got any questions? Oh, Jane says she's got to put her art bars in the fridge because they're melting. I wish mine would melt a bit more. They're so cold here. I could do with them being that bit creamier just so that I can get them on these pages, but when I get them on here, we can see exactly the similarities with the art bars, the Derwent art bars and the Caran d'Ache. There's very little in it. Now Caran d'Ache do say some of those are light fast, but it doesn't say all of them. The Neos, the art bars are all light fast. So again, apologies for my measuring system. Oopsie. Oh, while he's away, I can steal my blanket back because I'm frozen in this little room. You wouldn't think so in England, but yes, it's cold in my little north-facing room. Let's start it back again now. So I'm going to put that onto there. And I need to go make myself a drink in a second, but I'll do one page. And you can tell the differences straight away. I didn't know if I had any more of this Sea White handy, but it's definitely, it's just that little bit different strength that makes it just that bit better. So I'm going to put that into there. And I'm going to put that into there. So that's given me 12 pages. So I'm just going to do those 12, but I can use the back. you're not going to see through it. So the next colours will be the yellows. So we'll get the yellows out, and I think I've got to be a bit careful because there are some there. So, but I'm pretty sure that these are the ones I've got. I've got golden. Just double check what that one is. Yeah, that says that's golden as well. So I've bought quite a few different ones. For the 6 here. So if I have those 6 are there, and then these are kind of 2, 3, 4, 5. These 6 here. That becomes I've got those yellows and oranges looking at me kind of thing. I've missed one there, so that must go with that, because that one says it's an orange red. 6. Nope, it was right, it goes there. I mean, just say golden yellow, but it's a very warm yellow. And I do want, I think these colours are different. This is a lemon yellow, which is a very cold yellow, so I think that's going to go there actually. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So we've got number 11, pale yellow. And the only reason I'm labelling it is because if I run out of one, I can look it up and I can just do it straight away. And the next one is Sahara yellow. And sorry, somebody's in the dog bed. And that's 240 lemon yellow. And we've got number 21, Naples yellow. And actually that's worked quite well, because they're warmer yellows, and that's definitely a cold yellow, so that's worked out really well. So this is 250 canary yellow. And the last one is number 10, Galba yellow. This is, again, quite a long and slow process, but it means you have all your colours at your fingertips. And you have a lot of colour as well. There is an awful lot of colour on here. And these are double the sizes of my other ones. Now what a difference. There's not one bit coming up at all. Every scrap has gone onto there. That's one layer. So it's the paper as well that makes my little book the magic little book. for goodness sake, don't do it on watercolour paper, because your watercolour paper will absorb the colour. So that's 2, and this is 3, and there's the same crayons. Now with the pencils and the pastels, there's hardly any bits. Little 2 bits, but can you see how smooth that is? Now if I can get a shine on it. That's how smooth and full of colour. So 3 layers. And there is a little bit on the end, but not much, and that's what I've used on a new crayon. Very little. And I've got a travel set. So I'm going to put that back. Oops, I'm going to put that over there because I haven't done those there next. So this is number 2521, which is the one. And hopefully all those yellows are going to be together. Oopsie. But, you know, you need to be watching TV, or it's quite a laborious job. But at the end of it, you have something. You can take these crayons anywhere. Sorry, the colours, and they are not going to melt. And they are not going to drop, and they're going to be safe. You can't do a huge painting, but you can do just some sketches, or you can do some colouring in. And these big squares should last me quite a while. And I don't really think I need 3 layers on this one. It's done quite well. Again, it's full of colour now, that. So my next one is my lemon yellow. Now these are, as again, these are 20 years old, maybe, not more. So and it's very roughly done. Just filling in. Oops, Alfie's going again. Sorry, could be a bark alert. There's nobody there, but he doesn't know that. Now that's an older crayon, and there isn't anything. There's a little bit, but not much. But I haven't used anything again. Not much used. So that's done. We've got number 21, Naples Yellow, which is a really nice colour to use. I think the new ones are slightly creamier, very slightly creamier, but I wouldn't say there was much of a difference. I wouldn't say there was much of a difference at all. Just very slight difference. So they haven't changed their binder. So I'm just going to put that onto there. And then 250, which is the top one, Canary Yellow. It's going to be a bit short, this one, but it'll be fine. This is what this is. You can see these colours better, and this is what it looks like at its best. So you get a feel of a lovely paper palette with a series of cold to warm yellows. Now this is still quite a bright. It's a bright yellow. It's getting warmer, but it's not the warmest. So I'm going to do the yellows and then I'm going to have to stop because my hands hurt. But you can see, and you can put your hand on it as well. If your hand was wet, you would have a lot of colour. So, and you need to be a little bit comfortable. But if you were sitting in the garden, as long as it obviously wasn't too, I did mine in the garden on a really hot summer day. But I did keep these in. I kept them hidden, and I got one out at a time. But I ended up with just so many colours of squares. And then I actually put them in colour order when I'd made the squares. So sometimes you might look and go, oh well, actually that yellow shouldn't be there, it should be somewhere else. But I wouldn't worry. So what we have is a really, really big palette, if you can see this, the shine, of solid colour. Just one layer, one complete layer. It takes 3 goes to fill all the little gaps. Sometimes I've missed there, the little bits I've missed. So that's my yellows, which is going to go in my little book. I've done the greys and the blacks, so they're going there. So I can open this page and I can see my light greys and my dark greys, and on the back of, so that will be stuck to this page here, and then on the back of there will go the yellows, and then on this is going to go here. Now it's a bit dirty, is this? For yellows I probably should have had a cleaner page, but, and that's how the book is made. So I will just do these and then keep them in order. So I'm going pale to dark. This one might be an obscure one. If you're not sure, use, I've done this before but I've forgotten which one it is, a tiny bit of, and to think that that one's going to go, yeah, so that one wants to go next to that one then. Yeah, I'm going to put, no, I don't know, wait a minute. This is the next yellow, that one. And then that's almost like the cadmium yellow. And then I think I'm going to go into the oranges. So I'm going to go that one, then that one, and then that one. Yep, I think that one needs to go there. That one needs to go there. Yep. So that's the order I'm going to do it. Sometimes you have to play about a bit. It wouldn't really matter. You can see them all. It's just ease. If you look at one and go, well, actually, I want it a bit colder or a bit warmer, you just know to go left and right. It just makes it, you don't have to think about it. And I find that really easy. But it's your colour book. You can do exactly what you want. Smaller squares, bigger squares. So this one is number 20. Oh, wrong pen. I don't suppose it matters, but this is a bit more difficult to use. Oh, there it is. Is that the one with the pencil? Oh, this one has a pencil in it. This one. This is the one that I quite like. This. I'm going to write in pencil. It's just that bit easier for me. So this is number 20, and it's golden yellow. And then we have number 530, golden cadmium. Yellow. It is a hue, but I'm not going to bother writing hue. And then we have number 30, which is orange. And then we have number 41, apricot. And then we have 300, I think, oh, that says fast orange. That could be like, it says fast orange, so we'll put fast orange. And lastly we have number 40, reddish orange.